SMT Nation, we back. Nation, we got a problem on our hands. This one's going to impact consumers, and I'm not really happy about this. I predict this a while back. This is just proof that when you give a carrier an inch, they're going to take 10 feet. Let me describe what's going on here, what the situation is, and then, of course, during the video, to my commentary, you guys can reply in the comment section and tell me what you think and how you feel about this situation. Link for the article from Ryan over at Android Authority. This dates back to the start of the year on the Verizon Unlock Phone Policy. I'll provide a link for that, link in the description. You can find ways to support us in the description as well. Please do like and share this content. Subscribe if you're new, and turn on the bell notifications icon to never miss an upload. All right, so for those of you that are unaware, or just as a refresher, Verizon has a very unique and different phone unlock policy. This dates back a very, very long time, probably going back like a decade or so. And it had to do with spectrum. Verizon getting the 700 megahertz spectrum for band 13. You guys are familiar with it. And within that kind of clearance and approval and deal, Verizon had to leave their phones unlocked as an FCC requirement. So if you bought a phone from Verizon, carriers like to do, they like to lock the phone for the duration of its time while it's being financed. So if you purchase a phone from a carrier, it's technically locked until a certain time has expired, and then you can call customer care and then they'll unlock it. Or I think for some carriers it just unlocks after a certain amount of time, after it's been paid off and those types of things. Anyways, there's different lock and unlock policies and all that stuff. But for Verizon, that was the best thing. I always recommended to folks, buy your phones from Verizon. They're unlocked and you can use them on any carrier after that, right? And that changed recently. I think within the last year or two, maybe it goes back 3 years, I forget. Verizon was able to weasel their way out of that requirement and force their way into allowing the FCC to allow them to do a 60-day unlock policy, which means the phone that you buy from Verizon has to be on the Verizon network for a consecutive 60 days, 2 months in a row, without any disruption. In and of itself, that doesn't seem like a bad idea. In and of itself, I don't have a problem with it as a policy. However, the deal for the spectrum said that Verizon must have their phones unlocked. No exceptions. They got an exception. And now look at what's happening. There is a story that's going around now, and it's going to start circulating the media, that Verizon wants to modify, change, and address how phone unlocks go throughout the industry. Their quote, "Now is the time to undertake a thorough analysis of the issue. The commission," meaning the FCC, "should assess the costs and benefits of an unlocking policy, whether it enhances consumer welfare, and if so, whether it should be applied uniformly." Here is Verizon's argument. What Verizon is saying is they want an unlock policy that requires customers to stay on the network for the duration of the financing. So Verizon wants their policy, to be and held to the standard just like AT&T and T-Mobile. However, Verizon got this benefit, agreed to the terms for that spectrum. Now they are tied to it. They already weaseled their way into a 60-day unlock policy. Now they're going to go for the gusto. And I predicted that this would happen. This is what always happens. Corporations, companies just wanting to get away with whatever they can, right? And I get it. Verizon is obviously paying up front for these phones. They're giving them to people basically for 3 years. They have to have them on so they can get their money back. However, I don't care. I don't. At my truest gut, down to the core, I'm a consumer advocate. And there is precedence that is created when companies get away with things like this. And I knew this was going to happen. Verizon got away with the 60-day modification. Now they want the whole thing changed so they can just be like T-Mobile and AT&T and have it locked. So here's my proposal, Verizon. Give up your band 13. Give up your 700 megahertz spectrum that blankets the entire country. Nationwide 10 megahertz symmetrical, band. Just give it up. Start unlocking your phones. Let's see if you got the balls to do it. Go ahead. Go ahead. Undo band 13. Go back to having, put all your network on a mid-band footprint. Go ahead. If that's what you want, if the phone unlock is that big of a deal to you, then do it. Otherwise, shut the hell up, follow your own agreement rules, and live with it. A part of me understands Verizon's position. Phones are expensive, but they already moved people to 3-year financing. They got people locked in. Actually, you know what? I got a better idea for Verizon. Here's what Verizon can do. Verizon no longer gives people the phone for free up front. Every year that a customer is on the Verizon network, give them a $300 rebate for every full year. So if they're on for 3 years consecutive, give them a $900 rebate. That covers the cost of the phone. There, fix the issue. What do you guys think is the solution to this? What's the best case situation? Should Verizon be able to weasel their way out of the unlock policy completely? Do you guys think the 60-day is good? What do you think the FCC is going to do with this? Do you guys think it deserves to be reopened and analyzed? What's your take on it? Sound off in the comment section below. You're the voice of the people, the SMT Nation. Let your voice be heard.